The homeboy, of course, was arrested as well. And he was charged with hindering prosecution.
See, that's why you tell. I know it sounds funny, but no, dead ass serious. Like, I'm not going down for you. I'm telling, bro. Don't call me. I'm not.
Put my hand right here. Telling. Snitching. Period. And that's that. That's that. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to In Killing Color. This is episode number 47. And today I'm going to talk about a man from the Bronx, New York. And the reason I'm talking about this episode, in this case in particular, is because of the case that everybody heard about recently with the Dwight man who had, trigger warning, decapitated his dad. And while he was on his YouTube video, he was like, this my dad's head. This my dad's head.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What?
Did you not see that?
Hell no.
Oh yeah, baby. He was on there talking about right wing, political, blah, 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 blah. But also, let me get in my bag real quick. Here's my father's head. So, this case came to me and I was like, of course I want to talk about this in wake of that case. So, for episode 46, we're going to talk about a man named Bashid McLean out of the Bronx, New York. And we're going to talk about what he did to his mama. Let's get to it.
These are their stories.
So, this particular case took place back in February of 2013. So, this was actually 11 years ago. And the fact that I just heard about it last week also kind of pisses me off because I feel like if you weren't in the area, you didn't hear anything about it because I've absolutely heard nothing about this. And I don't like that, okay? So, one day, there was a lady walking down the street. Walking her dog, minding her motherfucking business. Then her dog starts tooting around. Tooting around by the garbage cans. You know how dogs get the sniffing. And the dog alerted and was like, up. It was pointy alert. So the lady, because people are inquisitive, she comes over, looks under the sheet, and sees a body. Not an entirely put together body, but just a body. Sans a couple of legs, sans some arms, and sans a head, right?
I'm sorry. This is my only thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always wonder, when. Okay, so let's say you just out walking. What's your dog's name?
Kimchi.
You out walking Kimchi, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then out of nowhere, you see this figure on the ground covered up with a sheet, and you just lift the sheet, and it's a dismembered body sitting there.
Yeah.
How do you Can you imagine that shit? Seriously, that's mad.
So TBQH.
No.
I would be very interested.
Girl.
Me.
Keep going. I'm judging a little bit. But I get you.
It has to give judgment because Candra's gonna be like, bitch, what the fuck? What happened?
I'm scarred for life.
What's going on?
I'm scarred for
Kimchi,
life.
no. I don't want you to get that on your paws. Your cute white little paws. No. But I would be interested. But
okay.
I also would call him folks because, girl, something is amiss.
She don't call them folks.
Something is amiss.
I heard. Come on, amiss.
Something is amiss. So she calls the police. Police come out, tape off the area. And here's a picture. Because here's a picture. Okay? I'm just going to show a small picture, not a lot of picture, but it's a small picture. So, now people are trying to figure out, hey, what is going on? Who is this lady? Because we don't know. We know it's a woman because we can see the torso, but we don't know who this person is. What's happening? Police take the body, come to find out it's a lady. Her name is Tanya Bird. She's 45 years old and she is a home health aide. She apparently had been dismembered and was stuffed inside some heavy duty garbage bags that was inside of a duffel bag, and they was scattered amongst many locations in the Bronx.
Oh my God.
So one location had an arm and a leg. Another contained like a little bit of the torso and the shoulders. And then the final one had her head in it.
What?
The final, multiple bags, last bag had a head in it. Imagine going to a location, unzipping a bag, and it's a lady like, huh? How you? I don't know. Of course, they are going to gather those parts, take it down, run some DNA, run some fingerprints or toe prints. I don't know, because it say arm. I don't know if it meant hand. I don't really know. But at this point in crime, you know what I'm saying? You don't really know. So they did the things, found out that she had been stabbed in the neck. So that, for me, when I hear stuff like that, it means it was giving rage. So if you stab somebody in the neck one time, it's like, oh, stab. But if you stab somebody multi times, that gives dismember, it's giving ultimate rage. Okay. So maybe a day or so after they discovered her body and things, the police went to the house and found her son, Bashid, who at the time was 23 years old. And fuck it, they charged him with the murder. Now, there was a couple of things I saw online on Reddit and some other places where they were like, oh, you know, he was troubled and he was trying to be in a gang. And the initiation was, we want you to unalive your mama, send us a picture, and then we'll let you in. All within the hopes that he wasn't going to do it because they honestly didn't want him in the gang.
Oh my God.
That was what I read before I got into it. So the thing was, I guess even going along with that, they were like, well, he did it. And he took a selfie of himself on his webcam on Facebook, mind you, because Facebook is low-key the place for degenerate murders, if you did not know, because a lot of people get murdered on Facebook.
That's what I've heard.
He took the head and did one of these and was like, now my face was not a joke when I said,
wow.
Because that's what he did. One more time for the rug. Now, according to the things, Bashir had stabbed his mom, cut her up with an assistance of a homeboy. So apparently he brought his homeboy over and was like, hey, I did a thing and I need you to help me out.
What kind of homeboy? All right, never mind. Go ahead.
I'd be like, hey, Chase, check this out. Can you come over real quick?
I'm like, man.
Come over real quick,
and I show up and you want me to... What, man? I'm telling.
Can you just do me a favor?
No.
Can you go get that saw? It's in the kitchen. I plugged it in so it can be fully charged.
I'm telling. I want you to know I'm telling.
So at which point we know Chase is not about that life.
Don't call me over here to help you chop no, but I'm telling. You call me like this ain't got nothing to do with me. Mm-mm. You got like I said, if you was beefing at Bella Noche, you should have been beefing at that wedding. If you was beefing at that wedding, like don't call me over here telling me, oh yeah, like can you help me chop this nigga up? I don't even know what the beef was about.
By the way, can you make sure you unplug it and turn it on to option number 3 so that it's as high as it
I
can
can
go?
see if I was here and he tried some shit and we had to wash him up or something. Oh, he hit his head or whatever. But nah, you called me over here after the fact and be like, yo, help me chop him up.
So
sister.
you're down for a second, third degree charge, but not a first degree charge.
Like if something go down, like, you know, and we got to wash this nigga up.
Yeah.
You know, all right, cool. But it's not going to be given like, oh, I killed him. Now you come over here and help me chop. What I got to do with... Man, he ain't said... This ain't got nothing to do with me, man. You should have told me shit because I'm telling.
So you're, like I'm saying, you're down for a second... you're down for a second and third degree charge. Not a first.
I'm telling. I am telling, nigga.
Also, just a note. Y'all, I say this every time. I just want to make sure, since I'm visual, y'all can see me when I'm saying. Let me make sure. Let me pull in so you can make sure. I laugh to keep from being disgusted by the things that humans do based on their nature. Okay? Anyway, that's all I got to say. So we're going to go watch it. Anyway, The homeboy, of course, was arrested as well. So I'm gonna get this microphone again. The homeboy was arrested as well. And he was charged with unlawfully dissecting a human body and hindering prosecution.
See, that's why you tell.
And that's definitely giving several years.
I'm telling.
That's giving several years of charge.
I know it sounds funny, but no, dead ass serious. Like, I'm not going down for you. I'm telling, bro. Don't call me. Don't. I'm not.
Put my hand right here. Telling. One more time for the road. Snitching. Period. And that's that. That's that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so according to Bashir's family, they said that he has actually been a troubled kid, a troubled man for quite a long time. As usual, as you would have expected, they said that he harbored a lot of anger towards his mom. They said that he used to do destructive shit while he was growing up. Like, he used to set fires in the house, try to like fight his mom, do all these things that was just like, okay. But at the end of the day, you know, if you have a kid that's doing that and it's just you raising the kid, you're going to be a little nervous. I would be scary as fuck. Like, I got a 14-year-old kid. What if one day he decided to wake up and be like, I don't like this bitch because she made me wear this hoodie and the hoodie is stupid, so fuck it. They said that Tanya was like terrified of Bashir. She said that, like, she was very shook. He was on probation after he had attacked 2 police officers with a knife back in 2010. So he had did a little time and then he was already on probation. And she also suspected that he was actually physically harming his little brother, who was 7. His name is Nasir, and he had Down syndrome. So for that actually makes me be really fucking upset, because don't do that to the kids that are don't do that to the kids in general. But it's even like a +5 degree of bullshit when you do it to a kid that is disabled. Like, Nasir wasn't worried about you. Nasir was out here living his life. Nasir, and then he come over here being a piece of shit. So people said that his mom Tanya was, you know, a super nice lady. She was generous. She could, anything that she had, she would give it to you. She would try to help you. And I fully understand that. And her sister Cassandra said that I want people to know that my sister was a good mother, and she always took care of him. I get it. Now, everybody in the family saw that Bashir had resentment towards his mom, because at one point in her life, you know, mamas go through things. Mamas have trials and tribulations. Fuck you if you can't understand that, because mamas be going through it. His mom had a drug problem at one point in her life, and she decided to place him in a foster home until she got her shit together. All right, well, at least she didn't keep him there and have him at home by himself, and she out shot up on the corner. She did what she had to do. So it doesn't say how long he was gone, but he came back to live with her when he was 18. And for me, that was the problem T right there. Should have never brought that man back in your house after he was already sent off, because you had to get your shit together. He didn't need to come back. You could have taken care of him from afar. But, you know, I'm not kicking my kids out. Baby, them kids can stay with me until they can't stay with me no more. And that's that on that. I don't give a fuck. Hey, Aiden. Hey, RJ. Y'all need somewhere to stay? Mommy gonna always have a multi-bedroom house for y'all to pile up in. Or you can pile up in my bed and we can have a 1-bedroom studio. I don't give a fuck. And that's that on that. So, the guy that was supposedly charged with him, his name was William Harris. He was, like I said, he was allegedly charged with helping him get rid of the body. Both of them was like allegedly, I'm not gonna say allegedly reported, because obviously they were at this point, because that was 11 years ago. They were allegedly caught on a surveillance video at a nearby hardware store, where they saw that they had went and bought a power saw with money. So you do this unaliving and you don't even have the proper tools to carry out the remainder of the crime. Everybody don't have the remainder. Everybody don't have. Hey, listen. Make sure you had your shit. Because when I did the story about Adeline, what was it? Madeline. You remember the lady I talked about? So in the previous story I was talking about, there was a trans woman that took said body to the Home Depot with her. Okay? And her homegirl. And there's videos, put it in a cart, tooted the cart around. It was very much giving Weekend at Bernie's.
Hold on. I'm not trying to laugh at that, but that's crazy. Okay.
You remember we talked about that?
I don't remember that one.
She was the old bitch. The old ass lady. Damn. The one that was in jail for like 20 years got out and then like unalived this lady. That lady. Yes, I can't right now. I don't want to look it up, but I cannot remember the name. But her, yes, girl. She took her to the Home Depot in a cart with her homegirl and bought all the pieces to chop. Bought all the pieces with the body. Very much Weekend at Bernie's like.
That's. I mean, you just really don't care at that point.
At this point, it's like fuck it. I'm already 82. Like fuck, you want me to do?
Why are you even bothering to chop the body up at that point? Just leave the cart in the middle of Lowe's and walk out. At that point, just leave.
But you put it in a little floral bag and toot outside with.
Stop.
It's a bag.
This don't make no sense, man. This is
Marceline Harvey.
I remember
that's
that
who
name.
it was.
Yes.
Marceline Harvey.
I remember that name.
Marceline. So when the police went back into the apartment where Bashir and his mom lived, they found a blade and they saw a 2-foot long Black & Decker jigsaw. All that was in the house. So like I said, make sure it's plugged in and charged up. That's what they was doing. They went to the store. He made his homeboy go to the store, come back. Hey, we're going to charge this up. We're going to sit around, watch a little YouTube, play a little game, till it charge up. And then when they finish charging up, we're going to get rid of it because it's what we have to do. Okay? Now, the cousin, her name is Cassandra, she said that Bashir was a monster. And he had been plotting on his mother's murder for a long time and said that it was premeditated. Because as I went down the rabbit hole, I looked on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. TikTok wasn't around, but like Twitter and all that stuff. His username on Twitter was I'ma kill Tanya Bird.
No, it wasn't.
It was. You can look it up.
Nah, bro. Nah.
You can look it up. That was the name. That was his username. Not his. That wasn't like the little name on the bottom with a whole nother. That was the actual @ name.
So nobody was like, hold on, maybe we should. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hate it here, yo.
I was, and it was wild. And it was like, nobody in the family wanted to clock that and just like tell the police, because it wasn't like he had changed it like 2-3 days before. Like that was months prior. Like nobody wanted to say nothing. But you had a whole username
for months
on multiple social media platforms, not just like multiple.
Man.
But nobody said anything because in the black, let me pull this in. In the black community, we don't ever want to tell what we see. We never want to get involved because it's always like, well, it's not my business. It's not my business.
Revert back to I'm telling.
Wait a minute, I go, wait a minute.
I'm telling, nigga. I am telling. Period.
And that's that, because I'm telling. So everybody can kiss my ass, because I'm telling all the shit. I don't give a fuck what you doing. I ain't telling. I'm also a telling ass bitch. Telling. Okay? So once he got clocked, the family was like, oh yeah, it's giving he needs to die. It's giving death penalty, whatever. And they even said that his dad, which we don't have a name or mention of, his dad said he was a bad egg. His dad said that he actually deserved the death penalty too, and nobody could control him throughout his life. Now, in all the pictures that I saw of him, other than the picture in jail, he was smoking, throwing up gang signs, gang rags, doing that stuff. So I mean, you know, it's not no judgment there. Like if you want to go to the gangs to get your family life, I had nothing to do with that. Cool. A lot of people do it. That's a lot of people's life. I can't be mad at it. But when you take that and try to use it on Something like that. I don't like it. And you post it on Facebook. Like, you think niggas on Facebook is not gonna tell? Facebook gonna tell your business because we sharing it in a group. The group talking about it. Everybody in the group gonna screenshot, share. Quote, retweet, quote, everybody telling on your ass. So his sister, he has a sister, her name is Portia. Portia said that he wasn't even remotely sorry for what he did. She said he looked me in the eyes and told me he did nothing wrong. What you mean? Whether it was your mama, your uncle, your cousin, your sister, your nephew, you unalived a person. You actually did do something wrong. You did a lot wrong. But I don't know, girl. I don't know. So at some point, he did decide to confess after they found a shower curtain that was in his apartment that was like taken off, but it was in his room and it was full of bleach. They did say that after some point, they found at a later location a piece of his mom's body was wrapped in that same shower curtain that they had pictures from. So they're like, okay, well, obviously you knew what the fuck you was doing. So initially, back in 2013, he was actually charged with second-degree murder. And I have a huge problem with that. We've been talking for a year or so now. And y'all know how I am about second and third-degree murder. What you mean? You had a username that said, @kill whatever Tanya Bird. Second-degree to murder is giving accident. It's giving heat of passion, heat of the moment. It's giving we're not about to die, but somebody about to die. We knew he wanted to unalive Tanya. We been knew that. So second degree, I don't fucking think so. I don't think so. So at that point, once they started the trial, it was him and his homeboy. They was just like blaming each other on everything. Like, my homeboy did it. He did it, whatever. But everybody else, even his homeboy William, he had been arrested 12 times prior to that situation. 12. So he already had a lengthy rap sheet. Like, you can't be out here helping and assisting and unaliving when you already have an ignorant ass rap sheet.
That's the homie he called to help chop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why he called. Okay, it makes sense.
Because Buddy was already down bad.
It makes sense. He not okay. So cool. He called the right nigga. All right, got you. Heard you. Got it. I mean, we know our friends.
I guess I guess everybody does have the homie they would call. I don't have a homie I would call because I'm not calling nobody. Because if I'm unaliving somebody, guess what, baby? Ain't nobody gonna know nothing about it. Because we going down to the bayou by ourselves. Okay? You get in the back of that X3 and we gone. Where you at? Oh, child. I'm going to get my car for some service. So my car going to be out of commission for about 3, 4, 5, 6 days.
Not this tongue pop.
She going to be gone, okay? So, of course, during the trial, they're going to be like, oh, he had anger issues. He had mental learning disabilities. He had drugs. It was all this stuff. And it was just like, every time I hear stuff like that, I'd be like, yeah, people do have issues. People do have things. But, like, when does... But, like, when does that become, like, a crutch for the majority of these unaliving motherfuckers? Like, yeah. Hey, if that's the case, hey, guess what? Candra take Lexapro. I take Ambien. So if I decide to wake up in the middle of the night and bust somebody's head to the white meat and go back to sleep, am I good in the morning because I was on medication? I would be like, well, girl, I don't remember that because I had took my Ambien and my Lexapro at the same time, and I don't remember. I mean, because if so, let bitch know. What's up? No, I'm just saying. So, let's fast forward to his trial. He comes to trial, and he's in a trash bag. Now, when I say he's in a trash bag, his whole entire body was in a bag from head to toe.
What?
Because he kept...
Don't tell me.
What?
Was he soiling himself?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Woo,
He
child.
was.
All right.
He was down bad in the courthouse. He just kept.
I'm sorry. I'm like a 7-year-old, man.
I just don't know. I don't know. He just kept doing things, and it was like, girl, we got to take you to court in a fucking trash bag. That's like Hannibal Lecter when they had the spit mask joint.
That's funny.
But like you in there in a trash bag. So not only is you in a trash bag, but if you decide to do it, you got to sit there in it until we done for the day.
They ain't even give him a pamper. They said we gonna get it.
The smell. The smell of it all. Okay? The smell of it all. I don't know. So at this point,
God forbid if it was a white trash bag so you could see
it was.
It was. No, it wasn't.
It was.
Are you serious?
You want
No, I'm good.
You want to see? It was a trash bag. He did get charged, and yeah, he's never getting out. Okay? His homeboy kind of got off, though. He got a little bit of time, but he didn't get mad time. He got about like 10, 12 years, whatever. I mean, shit, that motherfucker got life. So, clock you a little piece of time versus a whole lot of time.
See, it's what you know. What? Never.
So, you know, I've talked about a lot of cases where, you know, people go through things with their parents and stuff, and it's just kind of like, I really hope I never get to the point where my kid like despises me enough to where I'm scared of him, number one, and two, that he just stabs me. Especially because, you know, my son is probably going to be bigger than me at some point. He's not right now, but at some point he probably will be bigger than me. And like, you got a anger-filled 23-year-old kid. And according to some of the court records, they said that he said the reason that they got into it that day was because she told him, oh, this is a whole nother part. I forgot about this. That he needed to be a better father for his child. And he was like, what the fuck you mean? Nigga, you need to be a better dad. Let's fast forward to 4 years later. He's in jail. He has a baby mama, like I just said. She said something about a kid. Guess what the baby mama did?
Oh, no.
The baby mother beats the baby until he dies. So, not only did the dad unalive his mom, his baby mama unalive their child.
That kid didn't stand a chance.
And at which point it's giving the whole bloodline for that family, male-wise, is wiped out. And now, so she's in jail. Like, she's big body in jail.
That's weird.
And at some point, maybe next week, I might come back and talk about her case because I want to know, girl, what? Why? But somebody, when I posted this on my page, because this was one of my crime quickies, and I decided to lengthen it out because it was a lot of conversation. It was weird to me because it was like, you know, somebody was like, oh, postpartum. Yeah, I get postpartum. I fucking had it. But like, somebody was like, nah, fuck that. He knew he was picking. He picked her. They were together. He knew what type of time she was on. So he knew she had a criminal mindset along the same lines he did. So maybe it wouldn't have been, they didn't know if she was going to like unalive. But at the end of the day, she was on the same exact type of time he is. So at least at this point, nobody got to worry about trying to take care of the kid. Because he up there with the mama.
That's crazy.
And that's fucking awful. 4 years after he got clocked, that's when this happened. So now Zara is in jail. For what?
Just,
why you do that?
You could have just not done that, and you would not be in jail. It's very simple.
Like, you wasn't in trouble or anything prior to. You wasn't involved in any of his case. So
if you didn't want, to have there were so many other options.
At this point, you can drop the kid off at the fire station.
I'm saying the options, man. Like, you don't from maximum effort to minimum effort. Like, you don't have to. And I feel like killing the kid is super maximum effort. Like that. Like, why are we doing all
like
this?
You had to do all that work. Like, you could have just put him outside and be like, "Fuck out of here,"
Like, okay.
and he could have just tooted down the street.
Okay. All right.
Because he wasn't like, when I think about it, I think he was at that point. I think he was like 7 or something. So he was in at least the 3rd grade.
Can you imagine like beating up a 7-year-old?
No.
To death?
Although I also want to fight my 8-year-old. When I say fight, I just mean rough up, hug, kiss his face, and throw him on the couch. I don't mean square up. Like,
wow, man.
But it's like, when you hear about that, it's like, damn, like, what these motherfuckers had going on? What was going on? I don't know. I don't like it, but you can also head over to my Instagram. We can talk about it, because I did post about it, and it's on Instagram. It's on Twitter. It's on TikTok, and I talked about it on all Facebook too, and I talked about all those things. So come on there, go under the post. Let's talk about Bashir. Let's talk about his baby mama. Let's talk about his life, and let's talk about what is actually going on. Okay? But at the end of the day, let me just bring up a little something to you all. If you have not noticed, there's a few ads going in through my show. It's a couple ads. Let me pull in for you hoes. There's some ads. So, if you would rather listen to my show without ads, please make sure you subscribe so you can now listen to it without no goddamn ads. It's just that simple. Subscribe. Don't listen to it with ads. It'll be available right there in the joint. Make sure you follow me on all social media. Talk back. I talk. We have a good time, but like I always say, don't get cussed out. All right? Have a great day. Bye.
These are their stories.